DJ House of Pain, Sandokan is special. DJ House Tank, Sandokan Special.
Folks, Samson Toll. Good morning. Good morning. Did I say good evening? Good morning, folks. Samson Toll, LIBERIA Public Radio. We're here again this morning to have some conversation. This evening. Did I say tonight? Just remember, I'm not usually on this time of the day. So, but first of all, I want to welcome all of you again this morning, this Saturday morning, and we're going to have fun here this morning because eventually here we will be having with us the Solicitor General of Liberia. Serena Seaver is going to be joining us here, where we will have to discuss some issues affecting Liberia, and in fact some of the issues that like the Cochrane conversations. So we will be discussing all of that. But anyway, we will lay out. But before that, as usual, this is Dr. Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia, duly elected. 60. Did I say 60? Of course, you know whatever the number is. I'm not going to go through that this morning. But anyway, duly elected. Okay, and by many Liberian electorate decided this is the president they want, and so he's our president of the Republic of Liberia. But before that, as usual, we will go on and show you during the election why Dr. Weah, I believe, very strongly continued to proceed and talk about the road issue. During the election, Dr. Weah decided to travel throughout the country, and some of the difficulties he decided to experience, some of the difficulties, I believe, some of the difficulties our people feel or goes through when it's raining, because when it's raining in Liberia, they're completely cut off, most of them. And so Dr. Weah in this video now trying to experience some of that, I believe, strongly believe that. And because of that, I also believe that because of that, Dr. Weah continuing to push this role connecting business in Liberia. And as you know, Samson Toll is in road business, and I like that, and I will continue to promote it. Let's watch this video, folks.
Okay, all right. Let's make sure you do that same thing for you can hold. I don't need show the road, you must stay. We're going to junior that before. No, I beg you. Let's make sure you do that same.
There you have it, folks. I'm not going to go through all the rest of the video here because we don't have much time. We will be contacting the consular here very shortly. So before calling the consular, I just want to lay out here I want to lay out to you, the issue that we're going to be discussing here. Quite recently, as you know, Ellen Cochrane went to Liberia. Before that, she was indicted by the former regime in Liberia for economic sabotage, and you all know the story. So she and other people that were connected, there were some that were case were dropped and what have you. But of course, we'll get all that information here. Hopefully, we'll get that here this morning. But anyhow, so quite recently, she went to Liberia. And when she got to Liberia, because her case was never dropped, not that we know of, so the media, the many Liberians picked it up and said, wait a minute, she was indicted. And here she is coming with welcoming party and what have you. What's going on here? And so the Solicitor General decided, okay, well, let's look into it. And this case has taken the life of its own, folks. It is now embroiled in so many ways, so many people involved. Former Solicitor General has written trying to debunk some of the statement made by the current Solicitor General, and folks, and it's all over. And even the Justice Minister came out publicly and said he didn't know that the case was dropped, and so people were wondering, well, how is this thing? How is the Justice Department, Dr. We are Justice Department? How does it function? And so we will find out here this morning. Hopefully we will call the Solicitor General, who is very gracious enough to answer our call twice now. In fact, I called him a few minutes ago, and once we're ready, we place a call. Hopefully he will be ready for us as well. And here is the story here for how this program going to proceed this morning. We'll talk with the counselor for some time, and we'll ask the counselor publicly as to whether he wants to take phone call, and if he does, we will provide you a number that you can call in here, and hopefully we will be able to work that out, and he will be able to answer your question if you have questions. But all that I ask, you see their finger, you see their phone, you call the phone. I'm not going to tell you what to say, but he's my guest, and I'm warning everyone right now, and I'm warning myself. He's my guest, and I will protect him no matter what. I don't have to agree with him, but I must respect him. First, as a human being. Second, as a Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia. There might be something that I've read about him that I don't like, but that does not negate the fact that he is going to be my guest. And I will not allow people to come on the platform to make anything. You can write whatever you want to write. That's fine. But once the line is open up to you, watch your words. You have the English language as your command. And most of my audience are very intelligent. Anyway, not even most, all of my audience, very intelligent. They know exactly. I don't even have to warn them. The usual audience, they know the rules. They come out here to express themselves, and they're very intelligent. They know what to do. But those that are going to be joining us, hopefully for the first time, on this show, we do not cuss. On this show, we allow people to express themselves freely. But you must watch the language. You want to use the language against someone else, that you will want that same wording to be used against you. Now, you, on the other hand, might accept any kinds of degrading words to be used against you, whatever, but I, Samson, too, as the host of this show, will not permit that. And so, once again, you see the finger? If I hear something, I go click, and that's it. I don't have to explain to you. I don't have to explain to nobody. The main thing is, the Solicitor General allowed us to place a call. He agreed. Hopefully, he will come on. Hopefully, we'll not have technical issue. And we got 4 more minutes, and then we'll place a call. And hopefully, once he comes in, that we will have a conversation. Because that's about, if we have issues in Liberia, we're not calling him to come and explain to us, the Christmas party and things like that. We're asking him to come and talk to us about what is happening in Liberia that got many, many Liberians concerned at home and abroad. And so if he agreed, someone at that top position that have all of the information mostly, and will be able to share whatever information that he can share with us. First thing, we have to be respectful. Let's pay keen attention to the wording that comes from the solicitor's mouth tonight, this morning, and so that we will be able to take it in and be able to form our own judgment, and hopefully have some decent questions that we will put to him. I take that word. I don't have to be decent, but it's a question, okay? But main thing is be respectful. Be respectful. Samson told LeBron Pub Radio. All right. So let's get it going. Let's go. So while I still have 3 more minutes, and then so anyhow, the Solicitor General decided they're going to open the case, and now as we stand. Cochran, Madam Cochran, and many others that involved are now barred from traveling. They cannot travel according to the story. And then we'll get that story here from the Solicitor General as well. And some of the things that I want to talk about the Solicitor General is the issues of the law issues in Liberia. And I also want to find out who's speaking for the Republic of Liberia when it comes to this liquor issue, because we've heard other people coming up and making some comment. We heard other people coming up and saying things and what have you. So I also want to know. And I'm also going to be asking the Solicitor General here this morning about some other issues like the marketing association, which was involved, threatening somebody going to jail. So there's a lot we're going to be talking about here tonight, this morning. So we ask you to bear with us as we do our best. Now we're going to go ahead and place the call to the Solicitor General and see if at all he is available. First thing, let's do this. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. Okay, let me do this. Which one? This one. Okay, let's go ahead and place a call. First of all, as usual, let's listen.
Noblecom.com. Credit remaining $130.53. For calls to the time remaining 383 minutes.
Hello, can you give me 10 minutes? Can you give me 10 minutes?
Okay, all right, you're live. Anyway, people are hearing that. That's why we'll call you back in 10 minutes. Thank you.
For calls to the United States and Canada, please.
Okay, folks, you just heard that he wants us to give him extra 10 minutes, and we will use that time to talk about other issue here. So hopefully within 10 minutes, which is 10 minutes after 8, we will call him. Because when I called him earlier, he also explained to me that he was in the process of trying to put something together. So apparently that most likely is taking the time. And no, that's fine. He's our guest. And even right now, if he say he's not coming, Samson still got it covered. So let's go on. So we have the Solicitor General, like I said, now open the case on Madam Cochran. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. So the Solicitor General went out. I mean, the Madam Cochran during Ellen administration was invited in Liberia to help bring some development in the country, and she, being someone who is involved in aviation, and I believe she's a pilot in the U.S. Navy, or but she's involved in aviation business, and also seemed to be a good manager. So she was invited in Liberia, and given a position to manage the Liberian Airport Authority, something like that. While she was there, according to the story, she took some money, not necessarily overnight, whatever. That's not what I'm hearing. But she took the money, I believe, with the board approval or something like that. But she took the money, whatever it was, the money was transferred from the authority account to some account here in the United States. And when questioned, she told them that she was trying to hire a company to do some work for the authority. And the authorities say, well, even if you're going to hire a company to do a work, and I'm just paraphrasing, and I'm not reading word for words here this morning. And so they asked, well, we have a policy here in Liberia. If you're going to do something like that, you go through a process, a bid process, and what have you. And they pushed the line. And decided, well, we're going to look into it more. When they looked more, there was many more account transfer and what have you, money transfer from one account to another. And they said, no, we're going to pass this on to the auditing general that are responsible to look at these kinds of stuff. And they did that. And when they did that, the report came back that she needed to be, she and the co-conspirator, that you call, I don't know what I call a conspirator or whatever, but a couple of people were indicted, including some other banking institution. And those institutions, some of them paid back the money and they decided they're going to drop the case. However, she never did, and she and another guy, Mr. Johnson, Councillor Johnson, I believe his name was, and so they left. And when they left, in fact, they decided to take the whole thing to ECOWA court, if you remember that. Well, in the ECOWA court, they were defeated by the government of the Republic of Liberia. And so they decided, okay, well, forget it, we're going to leave. They left. Came back to the state, and for some reason the Madam Salif government decided to pursue the case and somehow try to do some sort of extradition, and there was a big mess. Well, nothing worked out. It didn't go through. And so the story now is that after all these years, when Dr. Weah and his people came to power, they somehow contacted her, according to the story. And there was some information, some conversation, or what have you. So she decided recently, apparently she must have been given some sort of a guarantee or some sort of an understanding that the charges has been dropped or will be dropped, so there's no reason for you to stay overseas anymore. So because she also, as Liberian, which one of you Liberian don't want to go home right now? Every one of us want to go home. Every one of us. So when she had the opportunity and said, well, these are people that perhaps I can work with. So she decided to go home. However, when she got to Monrovia, instead of just taking a bag like Samson Toe would do, go to Monrovia, take a bag from the airport, get in the car, go home without anybody, not even my own relative know that I'm in Monrovia if I'm there, unless I want them to know. But she decided, no. I'm going to make this. I'm not too sure whether she did or the people responsible did, but someone decided they're going to publicize her homecoming as much as possible. And it was, people were dancing and what have you. And so many Liberians, including myself, like, okay, what's going on here? She was indicted. We didn't see any kinds of indictment being dropped or what have you. What's going on? So people started writing, people started questioning. And then the Solicitor General got involved. Okay? And when he got involved, some other people started coming back that he himself and a few other attorneys have gone to the court and filed through the court that the case must be dropped. I'm just paraphrasing. Okay, and so they filed the court, according to the paper, the court said, well, you brought a case. If you think you don't have no standing anymore, that's fine, we're going to drop it. So they did, according to the story. Now, the tricky thing now is, once that was done, the Justice Minister started getting the wind of information coming to his desk. This case, what happened? What's going on? And I keep telling you guys this. The Justice Minister, according to some other high power in Liberia, believe that he's not a sedition. He's an alien holdover, according to them. And therefore, he's not doing anything in the interest of CDC. So, but I believe, my opinion, folks, I believe that the Mossad Dean, in the scheme of things, is like someone who Dr. Weah is holding on to. As a means of showing to the international community that all is now lost. We're here. We got people here. And so because Mossadegh, from time to time, he will come out and make some statement that the government will come out. For example, the Minister of Information came out and said, when Costa come back, Costa going to be arrested. And he came out. So there's no arrest warrant for Costa. So when you have those kinds, that type of person that will buck the system and want to do it legally, want to do it in terms of law. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just reading. So then that person is looked up to by most international communities. Okay, well, at least there's something in there still. And so Mossadegh came up, according to the story. Are we on it? Okay, we got 2 more minutes. So Mossadegh came up and said that he was not aware of the case being dropped. So the question we're going to ask the Solicitor General this morning is, what happened? How did the case from being, indicted to dropped, now back to whatever, you people can't trouble? What's going on? And we like to know these things. Okay, so it's going to be very interesting, and my line of questioning this morning is not to put somebody on the spot, far from it. And if I'm not careful this morning, I can eat my lunch as well. So I'm going to try my best to be prepared. I've done that. I tried my best to be on top of things here tonight. And I think I will this morning, and I think I will do so. So now let's take the 1 minute to place this call and see if the Attorney General the Solicitor General will answer this time around. Let's listen in.
Noblecom.com. Credit for make. Noblecom.com. Credit remaining $130.53. For calls to the United States and Canada, please dial 1. Noblecom.com. Credit remaining 100. Time remaining 383 minutes.
That's a lot of time.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Councillor. This is Samson Tour of Liberian Public Radio. I'm wondering whether you are ready to engage. Okay, so you are ready to engage us then. I say you're quite ready to engage us.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for taking our call. We appreciate it, sir. Folks, that's the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, and he agreed to join us this morning, so we appreciate it. Thank you very much, Councillor, for joining us. First of all, before we start, most of my audience, perhaps this is your first time coming on my show, so do you care to just briefly state who you are, and then we can start the process, just so that my audience will know who we're talking to?
It's somewhat difficult. I write a lot about other people, but very little do I write about myself.
Right.
But the problem is that I am a Liberian citizen. I hail from River G County. I attended the University of Liberia. I studied law. I studied agronomy. I practice law in Liberia, and the first and only Liberian lawyer to practice law before the International Criminal Court, the Special Tribunal for Lebanon, the first and only Liberian lawyer to have been certified by the Special Court in Arusha, Tanzania, the first Liberian lawyer to have been listed by the International Criminal Court as one of these celebrated counsels. I also have under my belt that I led the impeachment. I was one of the key managers in the impeachment against Justice Jammeh. I led the effort in helping the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia interpreting Article 52C of the 1986 Constitution. I filed the application in asking the Supreme Court to decide a constitutional question of whether or not, in the case of a force majeure, when there is a due the election date, who has the authority to determine a new date of election, which clearly borders on Article 1 of the 1986 Constitution. These are a few things about me. I, in recent time, as part of the debate, meeting the International Criminal Court and indicated that all the crimes committed within the jurisdiction of Liberia during the Civil War are not covered by ICC statute, the Rome statute, and I got a response from the ICC confirming and affirming that there's no investigation, and there will be no investigation. There will be a formal detailed letter to me. And I intend to challenge the CRC report on the basis of Article 54, Article 50, and 56, on the basis that the authority of the sovereign president of the republic, pursuant to Article 50, which makes him the head of government and chief administrator of the state, and granting the appointing power under Article 54 cannot be shared, cannot be exercised in a more powerless form by any sovereign authority anywhere in the world. And that in itself has to do with the question of the creation of the War Crime Court. So these are just few of the things that I've been doing. I spend more time writing and debating issues across the world. I have a lot of friends. I'm vice president of the European Bar, the only non-European resident and non-European citizens to be. I'm also vice president to the advisory board of the Justinian lawyer. This year, I'll be in March, I will be in Rwanda, Angola, to attend the conference on the law of the sea. I'll be delivering a paper. I will be in Rome in April from the 18th to 19th to attend the European Criminal Bar Association conference. I'll be in Barcelona in May as vice president of the Justinian board and then vice president of the International Lawyer Association of the AEA. Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor. We appreciate that. That's folks. That's the brief.
And I didn't complete.
Please.
I'm also the only Liberian citizen and lawyer and practicing lawyer who has been duly certified by the Special Tribunal for Lebanon in the Hague.
I see. Thank you, Councillor. Those of us that have been following you, been reading about you a lot, and we know that you are not a small potato when it comes to law and Liberia and the international law practices. But I just thought that I would give you the opportunity to my audience will understand the person that we're going to be having a conversation with here this morning. So thank you very much for the information. We appreciate it. Now, the layout of the program this morning, Councillor, I talked to you before, and one of the main reasons of me asking you to see if you can join us here is to have a conversation in that because there are many things in terms of situation in Liberia that most of you, especially with you, always your phone line is open, you answer, and that means somebody's like that have nothing to hide for me in my book, and I really appreciate and respect that. So let's go ahead through the conversation process here. We just thought that you try and come and enlighten us this morning in terms of what is happening in Liberia. First question that I have for you, Councillor, is could you just briefly tell us the inner working of the Justice Ministry? Those of us that are not of law practitioners and have no clue in terms of how the law and what have you worked in Liberia, can you just disabuse us on some of the issues that we've been hearing, and we'll go into that. But just give us the inner working of the Justice Ministry of the Republic of Liberia, sir.
Well, everything is on force. We have a harmonious working relation. The statute creating a Ministry of Justice is the new executive law. Chapter 22 is clear. The Minister of Justice and Attorney General is my boss. But the statute also indicates that there shall be a Minister of Justice and Attorney General who shall be appointed by the President. But when it came to the Solicitor General, it says the person to be appointed by the President should be somebody who is learned in the law. So there's a distinction. So, for example, you can take a lawyer who is a business lawyer, for example, who has done business law to be Minister of Justice and Attorney General. But when you take somebody who to be solicitor general, the person should be clearly and distinctly versed in criminal law. So that's a distinction. But in any form and manner, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General is my boss. So we have a fairly cordial working relation.
I see. Well, nice to know that, and we'll go into that a little bit. So we have already established that the Minister of Justice, Councillor Dean, is your boss. That we have established. Agree?
Absolutely. It's not a question for me to answer. It's a question that has been answered by the law.
Like I said, I better be careful this morning. Thank you. So please, yes. But I'm also going to ask you that you have to. I'm a very lay person. I'm learning as we go through here this morning. So please take it easy with me. But anyway, thank you very much. Now let's go into. You mentioned earlier about that you also participated in the impeachment of Justice. Yeah, Justice.
Led the impeachment.
You led the impeachment. Now there are many Liberians, including some top lawyers in Liberia as well, including the president of the Bar Association, current president of the Bar Association, who came out publicly that particular process was unconstitutional. Now, can you please enlighten us as to why you think these people are wrong?
All right, listen to this.
Yeah.
There's a problem when most times when the being lawyer by a Liberian standard, not international standard, but by a Liberian standard, is one who oppose what the government support and support what the government oppose. That's the definition of being lawyer. But the truth is, an impeachment proceeding is a political process. It's not a judicial process. So in an impeachment proceeding, for example, if we do a comparative analysis between the impeachment proceedings that were conducted in Liberia and the one conducted in the U.S., you know that Liberia is far ahead. In our case, we produce witnesses, the defendant testifying in his own behalf. He presented witnesses, he cross-examined our witnesses, the manager. But in the case of the United States, they never produce witnesses because that is a political trial. First of all, somebody to claim that he's a big lawyer, he doesn't know the difference between a judicial trial and a standard impeachment trial. It's seriously a problem because what goes on in the Senate is a removal process. What goes on in the House of Representatives is an impeachment process. And the impeachment process, the House of Representatives serves as juror or the grand jury. So in our case, in the grand jury room, we took witnesses in the grand jury room that were interviewed. There was a resolution on the floor, a joint resolution on the floor. That joint resolution gave the judicial committee the authority to investigate. So there was a joint resolution, to issue subpoena, there was joint resolution on all of the issues. When the decision came, it was jointly voted upon by the House of Representatives. And then the matter went forward. When it reached the Liberian Senate, it became a removal process going out of the impeachment in the House of Representatives. Of course, I'm proud to say I led that. The defendant had a due process, was given a fair trial, and at the end of the day, because the Senate sits there as what? The trial of facts, and also as judges. The Chief Justice presides as presiding officer, is that Chief Justice of the Senate, is Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. So when he goes to the Senate, he goes to perform a political process. So his role is simply presiding officer. He has no authority to override or overrule any motion. He's there for every motion to be voted upon. That's the law. So for somebody to say, be lawyer in Liberia and say, well, unconstitutional, that is a joke.
Thank you, Councillor. As I said, we report here. We just try to pass the information and I ask the questions. But thanks for the explanation.
No. Ask any question. No problem. Ask any question.
Thank you. Let's go on to another issue that I read quite recently. Your involvement into the marketing association, where the president, I'm not too sure whether she's former or still president, was threatening expecting some legal action against her. Where do we stand on that, and why were you so much involved in that issues?
And why are you so much involved? Because I'm saying involved.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you.
Here's the problem.
Yes.
Yeah, here's the problem. The woman is a fugitive. She was indicted for financial improprieties. The indictment was done. This coming Monday, there will be a second Monday in February. The court will open. We will now select a venue to trial her. So she has been indicted for financial improprieties. Then she must remain as head of the marketing association and using the marketing association to form the very form for which she has been indicted to fight the governor of Liberia. That is absolutely unthinkable. We agree that all indictments are a set of allegations that still need to be proved at trial. Perfect. But when you are being indicted, you are stained, criminally stained. So and then she went to the Supreme Court. When she went to the Supreme Court was separate and distinct. She went to the Supreme Court on the basis that she was removed, legally removed. The Supreme Court said yes. But before she came out of the Supreme Court, she was indicted for financial fraud and no corruption. That is separate and distinct from that. The Supreme Court put her in place. After that, the indictment came about. So for me, she's not supposed to be ordered. So what I did was to put a freeze on all the accounts of the Liberia Marketing Association, and that is the law, because I was using the Provisional Remedy Law of 2012. So I put a freeze on that, pending the outcome of the trial. Now, the other day she brought somebody to my office and tried to persuade me to remove the freeze. I said no. I don't have the authority to do that.
Because I don't mean to interrupt, but I also read that the Supreme Court, the higher court in the land that you highly respect by every Liberians, including those of you that deal with them every day, they ruled that she should be reinstated, and people.
No,
other people.
What I was saying. No, that's what I was saying. I'm saying, listen, there are two separate issues. The only issue that went before the Supreme Court was that she was illegally removed, right?
Yeah.
So when the matter was she was legally removed, she won that case, and the Supreme Court ordered that she be reinstated. Before her reinstatement, then the indictment came out. The indictment was not to her reinstatement. The indictment was against the multiple fraud and other criminal financial activities she performed. So the LACC found that, and we brought up an indictment against. The indictment is against her conduct as public official of the LMA. So it's not whether or not you can be. But when you are being indicted, you should not have access to the very funds for which you are being indicted. That's my argument. So okay. I'm not saying that the decision of the Supreme Court to order reinstatement was wrong, but I'm saying whether it's prudent for somebody who has been indicted for financial fraud to go again and present over the same fraud, the same finances, while the matter is in court? The answer is no.
I see. Okay, let's move on to. Thank you for that information. We appreciate it, sir. Thank you. But to just conclude on that, so where do we stand now with that particular case? Is it over?
This day she went Buchanan. She went Buchanan and decided to print tickets in your own name, and I issued that I called the country and to me. Like if I hear anything that's going on, I will arrest everybody. So the country didn't go there to impose that. She then went people who were suspended. He decided to replace them with other people who have been placed there. I'm saying anybody who wants to run a Liberia Marketing Association should go to Congress. They will have to go to Congress. She can't behave like a rebel in a slave and expect her to respect her. Okay. She go around every day. She go on the radio and insult the president. But she will just go around. If we convict her, she will know whether we're serious.
Thank you. Thank you. Speaking about the president, Dr. We are duly elected 61.5% by the Liberian electorate. That's what I always put out here. But thank you for bringing that up. Let's go back to a little history here, Councillor. Back in 2017, the last nation addressed by the former president, Madam Salif, made her nation address. And you, at that time, I believe you were the legal advisor to CDC, I believe, because I went through the process and I saw that. I'm not too sure at that particular moment whether you were still. But let's go to a few things here I want to bring up. In that address, Madam Salih made some claim about trying to fight corruption, but that the corruption is epidemic and it's just difficult to deal with. But this is what I want to find out from you. You made a statement in one of the press statements. You said, he claims, okay, 2007, okay, but this is what you said. But today, speaking about the former president, but today the story is quite different, with Liberians living in a appalling condition, with foreigners controlling the economy, which should not be that way. Has the situation changed since the speech?
Gradually, it's been pursued. And change is good, but change has to take a gradual approach. Part of the problem we have, part of the crisis we have around the world, is that you cannot develop missionaries. You have a missionary for democracy or missionary for change. Change will have to be institutionalized through a more progressive and gradual process. You cannot, for example, it is not going to be like a military coup style where people wake up less money. Then there are strange people on the political stage coming to assume power. We have 6 years. We just gone 2 years. Systematically, by the time we enter the 5th year, you will see change in fullness.
But, Mr. Councillor, let me push you a little bit on this here, sir, if you don't mind. You also made a statement in a particular setting. You said the full sector of the economy, and I'm dealing with the economy right now. And what I want to find out from you, what are the situation that you were talking about, that particular moment, whether it has changed, whether the foreigner are no longer in control. But this is what you said. You said that all sector of the economy, of the country and economy has been occupied by foreigners, naming Indian, Lebanese, national as the main beneficiary of the economy, while Liberians have no role to play, which is described as horrible. You described the situation back then as being horrible. So the question to you now is, where do we stand now? Is the situation under Dr. Weir administration, is it still horrible?
If you were doing a test of the analysis of the current condition, you will notice there's a significant departure from the state of being horrible to a state of being gradually improved. So we can take it from there. It's being gradually improved. It's a process. Change is a process. It's not an event.
Okay. So last question on that, and I'll move on to that. You also made a statement that this is what you said. Let me say to you, you said, that Madam Salih piloted a plane with some people on board eating while others go hungry. When you also pilot a ship and it's capsized, who do you blame? The captain. That was your yes, according to the article, that was addressed, that was attributed to you. Now this ship that is being captained by Dr. Weir, and according to all indication, the economy is not that great right now. Who are we to blame on this particular situation with the economy as it is right now?
We inherited a fortunate system, a crippled economy, a corrupt nation, a system in which people make every milk that was intended for the Liberian people. You know that the last time when I spoke at the Asset Recovery Program, we did an estimated cost of $4.6 billion into foreign accounts in assets stolen by an individual over a period of 12 years, some of whom you know. The issue is we need to bring about that. First, we have to do it systematically. We have a team of international forensic auditors and experts in the country that are investigating. We do asset intelligence, asset surveillance, and asset investigation, restitution, and recovery. The process has begun. So we try to repair a crippled system, a system that has been crippled over a period of 12 consecutive years by callous and reckless regimes that have no fear. Have no fear of the law. It will take our time. Maybe we'll begin to see the real fruit of this whole exercise to the close of the end of the first term of the president.
Okay, let's. You brought in the access recovery system that you guys, and I really applaud you for that, because I think your involvement had invigorated the whole system. And that's one thing. I even though you don't know me, I don't know, but I follow you a lot, and I enjoy. I don't agree with most of the stuff, but I enjoy your involvement, because you shake up the tree, as I was calling it, as a liberal progressive. I call it shaking up the tree, and I really appreciate your involvement. But the process of that, I also must admit that you continue to show respect and dignity to the process itself, and which I really appreciate. But let me ask you this one question, and I'll go on to the next one. And that is, during the access recovery process, there were several names that were thrown out. One of the names that were thrown out was James F. Colley Jr., who happened to be, I'm not too sure if he's still managing director for the Maritime Affair or something. I'm not too sure, but that's not the issue. But he wrote you asking you to explain why his name was on that. And in his letter, he also mentioned there was another gentleman name that was on that list that was not even involved with the finance ministry during the $13 million for which you had your name on it. Were you able to address Mr. Colley's letter, and how is that situation standing now?
Listen. When I spoke and Mr. Colley spoke, I made a series of statements and comments, public pronouncements. Did you hear Mr. Colley will respond to me? Because the second time I spoke, I said, what I'm saying, I know what I'm saying. And I dare anyone to come public, I will arrest you publicly, no matter where you go. Because the evidence I have is compelling. I was not talking about $13 million. We're talking about recycle and parallel payments spending over a period of 10 years, and they're in the tune of $900 million United States dollars. I challenge Mr. Colley to go public. In fact, I don't even want to respond to you as a president, because the investigation is progressing. My brother, we're not going to do it like a normal LIBERIA. You just run people, you hang on somebody, corruption, they are going to call the practical, then they win the case. We brought the FBI here. We brought the MR5, MR6. They are here. They're coming by on the 12th. We're doing asset intelligence, asset surveillance, asset investigation, and recovery. It's a whole process. You understand? So it's nothing that we're jumping at. So let them talk. When we start the news to their neck, they will know exactly what we see. Before they thought I was joking, when they saw all the white guys moving all over the place, then they left the issue. They decided to attack me. But when they couldn't make it, most of them decided to take to flight. Most of them have taken to flight. But I want to tell you this. There will be nowhere for anyone to hide. There will be no hiding place when we're ready. No hiding place. Even you live in the U.S., we will commence criminal proceeding against you, because we'll use U.S. law, we'll show the evidence.
Thank you. Thank you.
My brother,
thank you.
This is a long process. So Mr. Colley writing me, or he didn't write me, or after I spoke and said, I dare any one of you to write me a letter and deny what I'm saying. Everybody went into hiding, went into silence, and everybody went into coma. This is not a book. I'm not joking. Ask people who know me. I don't go. I was in the U.S. I went there and came back. Yes, I was there. I went to see my son in North Carolina.
Wow.
So what I'm seeing is a fight, and I'm supported by my colleagues around the world. All around the world, I'm supported by my colleagues.
Thank you, Counselor. It's wonderful to hear these news. I thought that because when I talked to you, I decided to do a little bit preparation myself and go through reading most of the stuff that you have been involved with.
You want to draw Yeah. Anytime you want to draw a set of questions, just call me. I will answer them.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And like I said from the beginning, your line is always open, and that's one thing for me. And people might try to disparage me on this, but I don't care. For me, anyone who comes out and say these things and say it, my line is open, ask me any question, that means the person most likely have nothing to hide as far as I'm concerned. So I really appreciate what you're doing for us here this morning. Now let's go to the recent situation. You stated to us here earlier that the working relationship between you and your boss is
cordial. Fairly cordial.
Very cordial. That's
fairly
good.
cordial.
Okay, all right.
No, I use the word fairly cordial.
Okay, fairly. So I can read just about anything I want to read in between. But I'm not going to speculate. I will leave it as your description, and I will accept that. Now let me ask you this. Quite recently, Madam Eileen Cochran issue came up where your name was according to the papers that I'm not too sure, and I will hope that you will try to disabuse me on that as well. And that is, one minute they said that through your office, the case was dropped. Another minute, through your office, that now the case is being reopened. And even your boss said he has no clue, he has no knowledge of the fact that the case was dropped. What is happening with the Liberian Justice Ministry? If it is a ministry that work together, as you say, call it fairly kosher, working together. What's happening in that case? Can you enlighten us a little bit on that?
You know, I have been cited by the Honorable Liberian Senate on this matter, so I really don't want to. Let me just transfer some of the issues. The Solicitor General is the Chief Prosecutor of the Republic of Liberia before the Supreme Court. He is the bridge between the courts and the government. The Minister of Justice, Attorney General, is the supervisor of the activity of the Solicitor General. There is a method, we call it a schedule implementation reporting process, meaning we handle cases on a term basis. You know, every 3 months there's a term of court. So the cases that are being handled during that term, they are recorded and reported to the Office of the Solicitor General, who then compile the report and send it to the Minister. But given some of the nature of the cases, the Assistant Minister for Litigation will brief the Solicitor General and sometimes go and inform the Minister. In this case, we acted within the field of the law. We didn't act outside the law. All we did is we follow our reporting system. So all the reports for the term of court, the court ended. So today is the last day. Tomorrow we'll power all the Minister's office. What we did not do, how we did, which one we handle, which one we enter, another prosecutor in favor. Now, when we say we enter a null prosecutor without prejudice, it means we terminate the case without stopping the government from coming back if there's a new evidence that is there. So to enter another prosecutor without prejudice does not necessarily constitute a criminal dismissal of the case. No. It keeps the case in abeyance. It suspends the case for a while, maybe because of the insufficiency of evidence. So when we say we enter a null prosecutor without prejudice to the state, it does not mean that we automatically 100% drop charges. It means what we have is not sufficient to proceed with trial. So in that case, I gave the decision because previous defendants, for example, that were involved in the same matter, 2028, the previous prosecutor entered another prosecutor in favor of them without prejudice to the state. In the case of Musa Belete, he filed a motion to dismiss for failure to proceed. The court, looking at the gravity of the motion, dismissed the case but without prejudice to the state, giving the state the right to bring back the case on the docket when there is sufficient reason and evidence to proceed. So I acted pursuant to what my predecessor or other people did. I did not act outside the field of the law. Now, there were 28 persons who gave me grant $27 because he said there was no evidence. Then you want, and then one person is on the state to court, Article 11C of the 1986 Constitution says all Liberians are equal before the law. So what is good for the geese is also good for the gander. You understand? What is good for the geese is also good for the gander. If we don't have evidence and we drop sufficient evidence, we drop the case against several defendants, then we will make only one person because the person who is Ellen Cochran.
But
it makes sense.
According
we
to,
don't want to be seen as engaged in what we call selective prosecution.
yes.
So when we drop the case against Ellen Cochran without prejudice to the state, we then resubmit all of them, all that benefited from the state process to now resubmit themselves to the LACC for the investigation, after which we will now determine whether there's a justifiable basis to go to court.
I see. But speaking about former prosecutor, one of them came out recently and wrote an article in Front Page Africa where she they claim that she debunked most of the statement you're making, that those things that you stated where they file some papers in the court. She said she never did any of those things. There were only one person who case was
Let me
dropped.
respond because I have a letter our editing today. If you give me your email, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I was doing my response. You know, let me tell you, my brother, we need men and women who are courageous enough to pursue quality education, not quantity education. I'm ashamed as a lawyer to see a colleague of mine of the Liberian Supreme Court Bar to write such a letter, you know, that is nothing but a diatribe against my name, my character, and my standing in the society. That letter is a disgrace. Let me tell you why. Read the letter carefully. She claimed that LBDR as an institution pleaded not guilty, and what? When they pleaded not guilty, they begged that they would serve as state witness. They think as a failing, can they think, go to court and plead not guilty? They bang. I'm not talking about, because all banking institutions are body corporate. They are represented by corporate officers. In that bank, in the LBDR case, we had John David, John BSD, and Gloria Menger. And the bank, they were charged individually, jointly, and separately. And each of the branches of the count, the prosecution stated the role that the bank played, the role that each of the defendants played. So if there was a trial, each of them will plead to the rate on account of the indictment contained in the indictment. But that said, the case never advanced beyond the discovery phase. Meaning, when they say discovery, we were still exchanging evidence. We didn't have any trial. So LBDR, not LBDR, nor John David, or any of the defendants ever pleaded to the rate. That is the first star mistake that she made in her letter. Second, she said only LBDR was granted knowledge prosecutor. But here they are. It's true. When they did that, then John David and Gloria Menger remained. What did they do? They left the case. Well, it says since she did only LBDR benefited from the knowledge prosecutor, there are two other defendants left there, and then Musa Belete on the ground. Why they didn't go after the case? Why they didn't commence the case? But by granting a knowledge prosecutor in favor of LBDR, they believe that they did the same for the two other defendants. So when I wrote and said our predecessors granted a knowledge prosecutor in favor of a number of defendants, I was right.
I see.
The other issue I've noticed again that surprised me, and that's what I said, a bar in life, you know, nepotism is a disgrace to this country, where people are giving people jobs on the basis of biological affinity. The issue is that she wrote and said a statement was attributed to me alleging that I entered another prosecutor in favor of electoral based on her advice. She looked at somebody to advise me. She didn't even accept. She asked her. She looked at somebody for me to look you up for advice. Somebody who can win cases because the way the system was run here, the way the system, this court, the judicial system, criminal justice system, one of the was used as a form of repression to impose non-resistance against those who saw the hypocritical portraying of the regime. She was telling me kind of Then she said it was attributed to me, yes. Why instead she didn't call me to ask me? She said, based on the municipal state, the same way attributed to you. But this is somebody who's supposed to be a prosecutor, somebody who's supposed to be a criminal lawyer, is saying she heard and hearsay statement about me and then decides to write that against me. That is again a disgrace. Then she went on in her letter and said she was hired by the Ministry of Justice and she represented the government of Liberia in ECWA and they won the case against Ellen Control. But that is a book. What did she do? She became unduly argumentative, totally arrogant, and irresponsible in the necessary case. When they hire her or the consultancy was influenced by biological affinity to those who are the Ministry of Justice. So she was hired and she went and implemented those things. As grave as that thing, that they are misbehaved. The judges in the court were so bad that they awarded Nancy Doe $18 million damages. Today, this government is faced with the problem of paying that money. That's the kind of person that I'm about.
Okay.
And also, she was singing to the wrong choir. I was the first Liberian citizen who went to that airport school in the Valentine Ayika when Ellen Johnson said your family stole that ball money from Nigeria. You know the story.
Yes.
So you can't teach me, you can't talk to me about airport school. You can't talk to me when beside the airport school, who let the court? That's the who appeared before. I have appeared before other international courts.
I see.
So, brother, you know, I get so emotionally charged.
I can get it. I get that, and I know these things are all emotional. Most of the issues because you're heavily invested, but at the same time, I think you have the ability to compartmentalize issue when it comes to law and what have you. So we appreciate that. Let me ask you one last question, and then I'll ask you the final one here. That is, quite recently we saw Henry Costa going to Freetown where he was detained by the authorities over there. And there's a statement that came from you that Henry Costa will be brought back. What was the reasoning behind that, and where do we stand as things are right now?
When I say Henry Costa will be brought back, I was saying in the context that no matter where he goes as a Liberian citizen, he will come back. The heart will bring him back. That's what I meant.
Okay.
His own heart will bring him back because he belongs here.
Okay, all right. I'm glad you clarified that because many people took that to be, but right now you're saying that it was not in the form of threatening lawsuit or law arrest and everything, but you're saying it as a Liberian, knowing who Henry Costa is, that his heart is in Liberia, and therefore you believe that he will be coming back to his home.
Henry Costa, where he is now, he wants to come back home.
Okay.
So whenever he comes back home, he misbehaves. That's all.
Okay, so is there any standing legal issue that if Mr. Costa was to come to Liberia that he might face that you care to tell us tonight, this evening?
No, I won't be able to. I won't be able to know because the prosecution works as a team.
Okay.
And I won't be able to know for now. But this country has always been free. The government has no policy of wish hunting anyone.
Okay.
We have not killed any political prisoner. We have not murdered anyone. Even when our own friend, my cousin, wrote the ICC and said there was a war crime being taking place here, and all the kind of things, we challenge that, and they could agree with what such a thing is not happening. You see? So, this government, the country is free, gentlemen. You do your thing. You come back home. You can't be teaching other foreign people. You don't want to teach your own.
You'll come back home, he said. We agree, my brother. We will. But people like you, for me, as I stated the last time, for me, I consider you and many Liberians because as qualified as you are, you could have gone to any part of the world and make good living. You don't have to stay in Monroe, but you stay there to fight for justice, as you see it, to fight with the people people, to be in the eyes of the people, to help them out. And that, I think, whether we agree with you or not, those of us that are in the diaspora should greatly appreciate that effort you guys continue to make. Before long here, I want to ask you whether you allow it for folks to call in and ask a question. Is that something you will want?
Let them go ahead. Let them answer their questions. Let them go ahead.
Okay, all right. Let me set it up while we're on it. One last thing that I want to take on before I open the line up for folks to ask questions here this morning is this, Councillor. Why I really appreciate you and what is happening, but I was hoping that as Liberian, when we hear these kinds of wrangling between the Justice Minister and the Solicitor General, these kinds of stuff, we want to see if you guys can find means to resolve these issues so that Liberia, because you also, your function is very critical to the survivability of Liberia, to be honest with you. And your boss, who is your boss, also function, his functionality is also important in the whole process. So I will hope that you guys will find reason to have these things resolved so that you guys continue to move this country forward. Some of us are very proud of all the work you guys are doing. Like you said, there's no political prisoner. People are not being hunted down in the street and things on your watch, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let me now open the line up, folks. If you want to call, there's a process and there's a line that I'm going to be calling, I'm being putting on here, and you can call that line, and the general is ready to answer your question. Let me find. So, General, let's hold on for folks to call in. But once again, we really appreciate you coming in this morning to talk to us. Let's go ahead and open the line for
I'm waiting for the question. Yeah.
Yes. If my system will allow me now. Okay, yeah, it does. All right, let's go ahead. That's the number, folks. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. Our guest this morning, the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, who have agreed to join us. Councillor, let me ask you this. When you were with CDC and I read this stuff as a legal advisor to the CDC entity itself, what was some of the things, and I believe when Custer had issue with Ellen, that you also were part of the process in, and if I'm wrong, please state, to securing his release. And now with the issue with the Custer and the government and what have you, what do you make of all of these? Because I know all of you guys have good friends. What happened?
So what I'm saying, my position is, the president said you can disagree with your government. You can criticize your government. Nobody will go to jail for that. But when you start being very rude, when you start issuing threats that you overthrow the government, then you mean you cross the red line.
Okay.
That's a clear area we disagree with Costa.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes, caller, just call. Caller, what's your name, where you're calling from, and what's on your mind? Hello? Hello, Samson to LeBron Public Radio. What's your name, where you're calling from, what's on your mind? Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, we go. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. What's your name, where you're calling from, what's on your mind?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, but you got to speak a little bit earlier, and a little bit louder so the councilor will be able to hear you. Councilor, can you hear?
It's okay now?
Yeah, let me be a bit audible.
Okay, yeah, talk a little bit louder. Go ahead, make your point.
Yeah, first I want to tell the councilor for my addition I've been listening to two things. My first question to the councilor keep on reading that Bible. What it is that most friends that complain like I think one way all of the country attached to the justice system, like the police. There, for example, the German Morley case. We never see the police hold a major press conference like the way it happened in the outside world. Like every time with a crime commit, you see the IG or the state in which that crime
What is your question, caller, please?
Yeah, my question is why make the Solicitor General office the most of the allegation that can come out speculation? Why make they cannot hold a record press conference like weak or
Okay, Councillor,
let the public know.
thank you. Councillor, why he wants to know why you guys don't hold a press conference to discuss some of the burning issue in Liberia, sir?
Listen, you know what happened? The truth and the lies don't work together. The lies will go far places, but it doesn't stay there long. But when truth gets there, they stay there, they don't get. For us, we want our people to talk, to express themselves. In expressing themselves, sometimes they mistake by spreading lies. So we can't be in a position every day holding press conferences on this kind of issue. And this is what I'm doing, like what you did today. I think it's the way forward. I think it gives the people in the United States a clear understanding of some of the things we do at home.
Thank you. Let me take the other caller. Samson to LeBron Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? Hello?
Hello, is this Honorable Samson Tour?
Yes, go ahead. We have the councillor on the line. Go ahead. What's
Good morning, Mr. Samson Tour.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, and Councillor Sifa. My name is James City, calling from South Dakota.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is it James City?
James City.
James City. Yes.
Yeah, go
All
ahead,
right.
James.
My question, I want to put in the layman term.
But
that,
make it brief. You know, councillor is waiting in Liberia, please.
Yes. Is it true that Tantra is not for rat alone? That many people, they were innocent for any concrete, but now involved people who they expect to be part of the case. As you said, like 28 people instead of one.
Really so, my brother, you really understand the issue.
Okay, so Tantra is not for rat alone.
Let the councillor answer. Go ahead, councillor. Thank you, James.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's not for rat alone. Everybody thought they were free. And now I'm putting everybody back into the pen so that they can go through the same process like Ellen Cochran.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I think I should be commended for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me take folks. When you call and I'm not able to answer, that means somebody else is online. But councillor, that's I love these kinds of questions. Town trap is not for rat alone.
No, I say town trap is not for rat alone.
Yeah. That was very interesting. So now, while we're waiting for another call, councillor, now that the case is in your hand, before I go through that, since you became Solicitor General, let me answer this here, then we can come back. Samson to LeBron Public Radio, what's your name, where you're calling from, what's on your mind? We have the councillor with us.
Yeah, good morning, Councillor. This is Alfonso. Councillor Sifos, good morning.
Yeah, Alfonso, what's your last name?
Alfonso.
This is Alfonso. So, Councillor.
Alfonso Tour?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Alfonso, go ahead, man. Nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, good. Okay, I know and thank you for always showing up. And like I said, you are one of the officials always come on our network, and that kind of make us comfortable when we have doubt to call you. And I know repeatedly you appeared on my program and on Samson program here, where you are fighting for assets recovery, which have more than millions of dollars out there. So let's get a record straight here. The part of the assets recovery you are referring to is Ellen Cochran part of that assets that your office is trying to recover.
Well, we talk about the amount involving Ellen Cochran is so minute. For example, my brother, the amount is around 500,000. Then the prosecution being so malice and not understanding the legal intricacies associated with extradition proceeding, and advised the government to file an extradition proceeding against Mother Ellen Cochran in the United States under the pretense that it would bring her back to Liberia, and in the process signed a contract for $200,000 United States dollars. The proceeding, the application was allegedly filed, and they paid pretty close over 100,000. And at the end, Ellen Cochran was never brought back. You know, so the question you ask is whether that amount is part of the 4.6 billion we pursuing. Well, we didn't factor that in. We actually didn't factor that in. Part of the key amount that we factor that in is about 900 million that has to do with real and parallel payment checks and the PSDR, the Public Sector Development Initiative, 10 million. We factor all that in.
Okay. Before I leave here, it was quite interesting, and it's good that you're here because these are things that also get us to be confused when we want to address some of these issues. It was Criminal Code C that vindicated Helen Cochran. So my question here was your office or the State Defense or the Ministry of Justice, are they not aware of that? So then how did it happen?
Well, yeah, I've told you from the beginning what I said there's a reporting regime that we have at the Department of Prosecution. Cases that are handled over a period of time, and after every 3 months we do a reporting. So on the field, a particular court is somebody is assigned there. The Assistant Minister for Litigation will collect all the reports compiled and send them to me, and then I will do a report. But meantime, while we're waiting for the reporting period, we also do what we call debriefing exercises with the Minister of Justice and Attorney General. It would have seemed that because you had multiple problems on the play, you didn't really remember that. But that is not so egregious as to warrant any concern.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and I hope maybe we got to work out something we want to look at inside the activity of the justice activity in Liberia, and I'm quite sure you'll be willing to come. But thank you so much. Like I said, you never always resist or call, whether it's for or again, and that's what we really appreciate to get us inside of what is happening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Excellent program. We're following it.
Thank you, Mr. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Folks, if you. We're only going to take a few more questions, 1 or 2 more questions from the council.
Yeah, let's say at least two more questions so I can go.
Yes. I agree. In fact, I think I will just call it shut now. We'll use to have 2 more question time, so that you will tell us. Just give us your wrapping statement here, Councillor, because I know.
Okay, my brother. What I want to do, I want to thank you all. I know what you're going through, and I'm with you. I don't have to be in America to know the suffering, the hardships, and the challenges that you are facing. But you're doing it because you want to come back home with a better skill to develop our country. While we are here, there are those who don't agree with everything that we do. We don't hate them. We don't despise them for doing that. All they do is that all of us disagree. All of us have a way of moving the country forward. The only reason why the people of Liberia elected President Weah is that they saw his program to be far better than the rest of the other people. Some of them had good programs. The program was just good. Other people had better programs, but President Weah had the best program. So there's a difference. They had good, better, and we had a best program. And the Liberian people selected us. All they need to do is to give us a chance for us to deliver. I'm the Chief Prosecutor of the Republic. I should be getting a free hand. I can even be talking with somebody who is on an investigation. That does not in itself constitute a compromise. You don't know. Restitution is at the core of our new criminal justice system. The whole idea of retributive justice, where family hang up people put in jail at the end of the day, you can recover 1 cent. It didn't happen for 172 years. So the recovery process that I introduced to this process is very difficult. I need to have time. People need to trust me. We don't need to engage in blame games and recrimination. I should be given a free hand to deliver. I know the president has been greatly confident in my ability to deliver. I have no cause. This is the freest country I have. Again, I said at the will and pleasure of the president. But I will always do those things that will satisfy public interest. My action was in a public good, and I can assure you, all those whose charges were cracked temporarily, pending the gathering of additional evidence, I have now resubmitted them for the investigation. We will do a holistic investigation. We did it for LBDI, we did it for the other defendants, we did it for Mr. Bereti, we did the same thing for Ellen Cochran. Ellen Cochran is not somebody from a different planet. When all of them go through the investigation and the evidence is gathered and be brought before me, then I will determine whether or not to go to court. When that is brought before me, I will also determine whether restitution should take the center stage. That is part of the recovery process. I thank you. I will always be available. Call me anytime, and I will speak to you. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Tell my friends and my brothers, my fellow Liberians in the United States, good morning. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Councillor. We appreciate it, and we'll be calling on you again from time to time. But we really appreciate you coming in to have an engagement with us here this morning. Thank you very much, sir, and please have a wonderful, and blessed day in Liberia.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Again, folks, Samson to LeBron Public Radio. That was the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, Sarita Cephas, who were able to give us a bunch of information here this morning. And I want to thank all of you that tuned in. It's been a wonderful morning, of course. But now we will go ahead and open the line if you want to call now to have. The reason why we couldn't take many calls, because remember now, this is the money here. The phone guy. Let me just show you how many more. And when I call, we have. Let's see how many more minutes left. That's small.
Noblecom.com.
Listen to this.
Credit remaining $105.97 per.
All right, not bad. I guess the 1 hour we spend what, maybe about $25. That's not bad at all. That's not. I thought it was going to be $50. If that's the case, I'll try and put about $200 on this car and call people. I hope that the Minister of Public Works will join us here too sometime, so that at least that would be my area that we can go. But anyway, Samson to LeBron Public Radio. Let's do this here while I'm waiting.
de Tuma, état de Jeanne. Mais le Gondiola, voilà le Gondela, voilà. Le Gondiola, le Gondou, il s'en est Yola. Le Gondé, le Yola. Le Gondseko, oh, le Gondou, eh ben, Yola. Ah, le Gondou, eh ben, Yola. Allez, Sylvie.
Okay, folks, Samson to LeBron Public Radio. Yep. Well, that's okay. Let me use this number. Hello, Samson to LeBron Public Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? Oh, sorry. Stay there. Don't go. Yeah, go ahead. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Where you're calling from now? What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
I said James City will call it back. Send the minister a letter so we can discuss.
Okay, I'm listening, yeah. Mr. City. Thank you for calling.
Okay, sometimes we let us listen to some of you on the show, but we don't let us participate. But when the real time, arises, then we let us come out to speak. Like Liberia, we need to graduate from that mentality of setting for people, praying for other people. That we want for something for bad to happen to this other person here. But when it comes to our own people, they say, oh no, it shouldn't happen to them. Like some people, they say, well, the war you're fighting for, you're planning for, they say, oh yeah, we are going to overthrow something, though. You may come and overthrow me, but there are a lot of people that are going to be affected. And what some people say, it can't pass. We Grenadians, we thought that, oh, yeah, my father don't work for the government. Oh, number one, I'm from Kumanstan. I know about government business, so I'll be exempted. And when all the things that happen, our people, they die in the bushes. So that's why when we see people say, oh, they're protesting, we say, well, is that a good contribution to Liberia to protest? Now, when Eden got in the town, people welcome her, people upset. Oh, the woman here, she's corrupt, she has been indicted, what how to welcome her? So the Solicitor General make it very clear, okay, say you want her, that'll be free. Then all of you that have been indicted, instead of one person, it'll be 27 additional people, that'll be 28. So we'll bring all of you back. When the year Musa better didn't, we're not that wage on. So when it became wage on, in any country, then yeah, you will prosecute her. Oh, then is she a Liberian? She's a Ghanaian. So Musa better when check it, when the DNA too, you get anything to do with Guinea. So Liberia, the discrimination we need to graduate from Mr. Too.
Okay.
It is killing us. It is not helping us.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I want for your bossman to come on the show to tell us too that the thing the minister said about Tantra, not for right alone, whether he agree with it. I'm talking about Alfonso So. Let them come and discuss it.
Why you want Alfonso So to come and discuss that?
Oh, because he's your boss man, and these are people that are supporting the COP. I'm sitting now, take it to the bank. These are people that are supporting the COP, and when they help on any campaign, they were going.
So you publicly telling my boss that he's a supporter of COP. Wow.
I am sitting now, and when you reach here, I'll need additional grant.
What's about me? What's about me? What's about me?
Well, your own view, you are in the middle.
Okay, thanks. Thank you,
right.
James. Thank you.
Right,
thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Folks, Samson told LIBERIA, give us a call here, 916. I want to put up another number, but that's okay. You can go ahead and give me a call. This one works fine. So give us a call here, and let's see how far we go on this here. We're here, and give us a call. Basically, what the Solicitor General said this morning, he said a lot of stuff. And then one thing I know for sure, he can talk. And he love to talk. And we really appreciate him coming on. It's not a matter of spending the money. We do this here. That's what LIBERIA Public Radio is about. We do this here. If all of these government officials will allow us to, they will allow themselves to come, they don't have to spend any money. We call them. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, what's your name, where you're calling from, what's on your mind?
My name is Michael Tiabo. I'm calling from Philadelphia in Pennsylvania.
Thank you for joining us. What's on your mind?
Thank you, Mr. Tool. I have been following your shows, and I enjoy your disposition. I enjoy your impartiality in addressing issues pertaining to our country.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that the Solicitor General has left the line, but I disagree with the section that he said when Costa could have returned, it would have been like any other Liberian citizen. Unfortunately, he went on the air to say Costa could have returned from Sierra Leone in handcuffs.
My brother, I don't mean to interrupt. I usually don't do that, but I think we can try to. That the Solicitor General came up, and I asked him that question. He said, Custer, at first, because I also read that statement where he said Custer should come back to Liberia. When I asked him, he said, yes, I said that, but in this sense, that Custer have Liberia at heart. And I know Custer, and as long as I know that he has Liberia at heart, he will come back here because this is his home. So if somebody is saying that, why would we try to inject any other sinister ideas on this that perhaps it's not going to be conducive for us? Why don't we take the general by words and accept what he said until something else happens, my brother?
It's true, Mr. Tu, but I am not injecting any other thing into what he said, but from my own point of view, he's very inconsistent. He's not giving the right information. Okay. But we will take whatsoever he has just said, and I think we can move forward from there.
Yeah, let's see, because these things, he was on air. This is audio. And I bet you other people are recording these things, so we ourselves have the recording as well. So if something comes back tomorrow that he says something different, we can say, but and he's always taking people call, so we can question him on those things. So I appreciate the concern, because that was also my concern. So I asked him, is there any process or anything in the future that Mr. Custer comes to Liberia, there's some kind of waiting indictment or what? He said no. There's nothing. The only thing is Costa come here, and he said it jokingly as well, that Costa come here and he want to start trouble, so we have to talk to him. But they're all friends. They know each other. So I think for him to come out this morning, a man who has no cover to his mouth, to come out this morning and publicly announce that there's nothing out there waiting, because he will be the first person to jump the gun to say, oh, Costa Crown, you're going to be arrested. Oh, and then the Justice Minister will say nothing here. But for him to come out, I think then there's from the higher ups. I think even Dr. Weir being involved, I think it's something now a little bit toned down, and I hope that's the case. So, my brother, thank you, but we appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Dr.
All right, thank you. Yeah, but somebody was saying here, yes, I watched a video on Sky News, and like I said, but that was some time ago. I'm not saying he didn't say that. Don't get me wrong. He said it, even I read it and I listened to it, he said it. But here is the evidence right now. We're talking about now. He just said about not even 15 minutes ago. So why we have to go back to the past and try to tie it around his neck when he's already told you he got nothing, any kind of hidden agenda whatsoever? I'm just paraphrasing. So let me do this. Let me do this, folks. I would because right now this phone that I'm using, let's use this other one here. Let's use this. Okay. 533 number here. Okay, if you want to call, please call this number because it's my son's phone. He got too many things on it, so it's doing some funny thing to me now. I'm not going to be here that long now anymore. Anyway, folks, it's been a wonderful, wonderful Saturday, and we really, really appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Not that you don't have anything to do this Saturday afternoon on your end. Saturday morning still my end here. But it's been a wonderful, wonderful show this afternoon. And we're hoping, I'm seriously hoping, because to be honest with you, I'm not a lawyer. To have a lawyer here to be able to interview the lawyer, and I'm just letting you on a secret. I called my boss, Mr. Francis yesterday, and I say I'm not coming on. It was yesterday, Friday. I was supposed to come out. I said I'm not coming. He said why? I said I got to prepare myself. Hey, well, you need to prepare, but I needed to prepare myself because I'm not a lawyer, and I'm going to be talking to this guy who is a lawyer, who has the work at his command. He can just blah, 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 and I didn't want to be taking from total time. I got to be ready. So I did some little homework, and I think I held my own. Despite the fact that I'm not a lawyer, but I think I held my own because I asked a few questions that perhaps he wasn't expecting. Like, oh, where did God come wrong? I love it when I do that. Samson told my brothers and sisters. I enjoy these kinds of work. Where in life, God bless you like this, you have an opportunity to get on this type of platform and have a discussion with the people you love, your brothers and sisters, specifically from Liberia, where they will come on and nobody was rude. They was all respectful. They asked a question, they allowed the general to answer his question, and the general in return was not condescending to people's view at all. I'm not too sure if that particular situation would have been continuing if some radicals that I know among us start calling you. But no, on a very serious note, I think the way all of us handle the situation this morning is good. And you heard the general himself that these issues are very emotional, and they are. And especially these people, these young people in Liberia, continue to work for the Liberian people, whether we agree with them or not. We must, first of all, appreciate the fact that they're there to manage a government. Whether the government is corrupt or not, but it's functioning. It's functioning. Somebody in Town right now can get angry and go to the police station and complain about what happened to him, and the police there will look into the case. The government is functioning. Because of the police station in Town, you can't just get and go to somebody's house and start beating people up. You can't do that. The government is functioning. Because of people like the general and the rest of the people, we don't agree. I don't agree with some of the statements they made from time to time. But at least let's give them and appreciate them to say thank you. Because as I correctly stated, the general highly educated. There's no question to ask. I mean, he's a good lawyer. There's no question asked. He also could have gone any part of the world and make good living. But here he is, stay in Liberia. And so whether we agree with them or not, let us appreciate their position from time to time. And from that perspective, I'm hoping to have the Minister of Public Work who will come here sometime and have a conversation with me, because that will be my area. I like to have that kind of thing too. Every time I call people, they are a medical doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a medical doctor. I call people the medical doctor. Then when they start talking, I got to look and research, and I don't want to go through that. So let the Minister of Public Work come on my show where I don't have to do no research. It just come by natural ability. That's all, because that's what I've been doing for the last 500 years. So if those of you, I'm going to call the Minister of Public Work again this morning to see if I can set an appointment with him. But he's definitely, I think he's quite different from this general, because the general, whenever you call, he will answer your call. And I don't find many Liberian government officials that even some of them that are considered to be friends, they will not pick up your call. So this is something I think we need to take our heart for the Solicitor General. The next person I'd like to interview is Dr. Weah himself, Samson to Liberia Public. Folks, I've been out here now for quite a while. Let me just go ahead and say thank you very much. And we really, really appreciate you guys coming in this morning and joining us while we have the conversation with the General. It's been a wonderful, wonderful morning. And we want to thank all of you for tuning in. We'll say bye-bye. Tune in tomorrow now. Tomorrow is Sunday for Mr. Social Freedom Watch, where most likely he will misdirect you again. He'll give you some information that you might not even believe they existed, but he will give them to you, because that's what he does. He ain't pulling punches like liberal progressive. Let me take this call. Sam Central, Liberia Public Radio, what's your name, where you're calling from? I believe you will be my last caller. Go ahead and make your point, sir. Oh, ma'am.
Good day, Mr. Cho.
Thank you for joining us this morning. What's on your mind?
Yeah, my name is Philip Bala.
Oh.
First of all, let me say a big thank you to you and Mr. So, the hard work and take up your precious time to at least inform some of us in the diaspora about issues concerning our beloved country, Liberia.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had a concern with, I think I'm kind of cool, following the program, and I got an issue with him actually accusing your boss that he is part of a political group. I think that they have done extremely well to have this still running to let us know what is happening around us. So that didn't even go down well with me. And I pray that you will not, encourage people to come on this platform to kind of degrade our hardworking people, men like you. So, I'd like to thank you again for this time, and I hope and pray that God will continue to strengthen you and to bless the hard work of the hands. Thank you so much for allowing me. I used to be a part of this program. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, my brother. We appreciate it, and that's why we continue to ask all of us. Let us continue to pray for one another, not just me. Pray for the leadership of Liberia. Pray for the country, and hopefully these people. You heard the counselor here when I started asking about some question about statement he made during early time. His voice dropped. He didn't become defensive, high, with a high pitched voice. The voice dropped. So, but anyway, let me take you off, then I can finish. But thank you very much. I think you have the background noise. Okay. But anyway, as I was saying, when I started talking to the general about the statement he made back in 2007 about the previous government, his voice went down. And he took it very seriously and decided to explain, say, change is coming. We're going to make the change, but we want you guys to give us time and give us the understanding that we're here to do our work. I mean, have the understanding that we're here to do our work and give us the time to do what we have to do. And then when I push him, that but you make the other statement, he continued to come back to the process of saying, give us time. He wasn't being aggressive as he was from the beginning. He wasn't being aggressive as he was at almost to the end. But when I pick up from that point and brought in the law issues that affect other people, raised a voice, not negatively now, but in terms of tone, and then became very, very aggressive, not negatively now, but very aggressive in defending his position and trying to put forward his position with respect to the law. So the general himself understands that the situation in Liberia is not as good as everyone would like. But however, they continue to insist that they're doing their best. And I think if they continue to put that forward, instead of all the tiny sedition around here, I say tiny, I'm looking for plow the money. All the tiny sedition around here, I say tiny sedition around here, keep surrogate. Oh, the president, what you're going to do? No, but listen to the general this morning. He wasn't condescending to me. He wasn't condescending to anybody except to give his position. And what I take out of it, of all the issue of custard, when I brought that question, I thought that was very interesting. And in fact, I thought I was hearing something somebody was saying, because after listening to his tape and after reading the comment, to come back out and say, yeah, but that's not what I meant. What I was trying to say, he said, is that Costa have Liberia at heart. In other words, Costa is a good man. He got Liberian people, he got Liberia at heart. Even if he's lying, let's give him that, to say Costa have Liberia at heart, and therefore Costa will not stay over there, that at home he know this is where he belongs. If somebody would say that of someone who they all despise, then what do you want me to say? I think that was very interesting. And I hope the government, with the Solicitor General making that statement, I hope that's also coming out with Dr. Weir to say, I have nothing against Costa. You want to come here? The only thing, and everybody will agree, the government has the right to protect lives and property. So if those things that the government has the right to protect, if they're being threatened by any individual, by any of us, the government has the right to stand up and say, something to. We respect your liberal view, but you can't threaten anybody. Not this government, not individual Liberian, nothing. It is your job to protect us. So if they perceive a threat, it is their prerogative. It's also their right to make sure they put up the defenses. So I'm not going to quarrel on that. But this is what the general told us this morning, that if Costa was to go back to Liberia, there's nothing in the pipeline, so to speak, that is there waiting to say when Costa comes, he's going to be arrested, or when Costa comes, he's not going to be welcome. No. What did he say? He said Liberia is Costa home. He can come here anytime he wants. Then I think, now let me be a little ridiculous and be cynical. Why is this general so out of a setting, so friendly now with Costa business? Costa, Henry Costa, what you got going on, my man? Are you friendly with people again? Samson too. Yeah, my man. Costa, I got to ask you this, man. Out of a setting, there's somebody who said, out of a setting, he said, Costa have good heart. He got Liberia. What happened, Costa? What kind of conversation you been having with the people? But man, when you need to tell, I'll watch your show Monday morning. Please tell us. What you have with him? For the Solicitor General, to the man who you said you were telling us yesterday, the day before yesterday on your phone, on your show, describing to say something up. Why not? Why can't I be cynical? I'm a Liberian. Sam said, before let me lose this here, then I can leave. Yes.
Está de Chuma, está de Jean.
Jonathan Gateway just joined us. Mr. J, if you care, please give us a call here sometime. We'd like to have a conversation with you, J, that is Jonathan Gateway, in my own community, in the Jida community, that is. I'd like to have a conversation with you here sometime, but I'm inviting you publicly here now, making a public announcement as well. So if you have the opportunity, give us a call so we can discuss it. And if at all you want to be my guest here, because there's a lot of things I want to talk to you about. So if you have the opportunity to give us a call, please do so. Not now, after the show. But I'd like for you to be my guest someday. Let's go on. So folks, let me just say good night to all of you, good day to all of you, and please stay blessed. God is wonderful. God is wonderful. Respect one another. Do good to people. The good you do today, you might not get it paid right now, but it will follow you down the line. If you treat people bad, if you're just out there to use people for what you want, and then after you get it, you turn around, turn your back, God don't like that. Why? The people might not have the ability to do anything. God is there watching. Always, always do to people what you want them to do to you. Be sincere, be honest. That's Samson told. Good night, good day, and goodbye.
Inana, but I'm a gig, and I'm a Zakati go pare monyo basoko. Lokuru bi basoko. Zakati go pare monyo basoko. Tumo wana pare tumo wa orope otasingo. Tumo wana pare waji tumo wa amoye bobore gaba.